Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Farrah and I invite you to join me on the mat today for a short, gentle, yet very powerful somatic yoga practice to help you relieve tension and discomfort in your low back. I'm going to invite us to come into crocodile pose. So this is a pose on our abdomen. And I just want you to know, if it's uncomfortable for you to have your feet flat, that you could have a folded blanket, a rolled blanket, a pillow, or a cushion, something underneath your feet for support. We're going to come all the way down onto our abdomen. And allow your legs to be either hip width or maybe even a little bit wider if that feels good. And then we're going to stack our hands and we're going to rest our forehead on the back of the hands. So just taking all the time you need here to settle in, making any little adjustments that help you find even more ease and even more comfort. And then let's invite our body to become still. Feeling into the heaviness of the physical body and the support underneath you. And see if you can offer even more of your weight to it. Letting go just a little bit more. And from this grounded place, beginning to connect with the breath. And taking some nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. And if you're observing any restlessness in the physical body or the mind, you might even allow your exhalations to be just a little bit longer than your inhalations, helping you to stimulate that relaxation response within your nervous system. So just beginning to tune in to any and all sensations within your breath. Letting the outside world begin to fade away as you tune in to your inner world. Without any preference, without any judgment, just begin to compassionately listen to all that is going on within. Just checking in with yourself. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Surrendering to this moment right here and now. Let's begin now to invite some movement into the body. We're going to start by drawing awareness down into the ankles and the feet. And on the next inhale breath, curl the toes under, flex the feet. And then exhale, relax top of the feet back to the floor or your prop. And again, inhale, curl the toes under, flex the feet. And then exhale, relax. 3 more times. Inhale, curl the toes under, flex the feet, and release and relax. Inhale, curl the toes under, flex the feet, and exhale, tops of the feet back to the floor or the prop. One last time. Inhale, curl the toes under, flex the feet, and exhale, relax. Now let's bend into both of our knees, pointing the toes upward
and begin to allow the legs to sway from side to side. So you're in complete control, finding your own rhythm, your own degree of sensation. And know that throughout this practice that you are more than encouraged to make your own modifications, your own variations, maybe even choose alternate shapes or movements. Take breaks when you need to. Please always listen to and honor your body, making this your practice. Everything I offer is only a suggestion. So here, this rocking is very calming for the nervous system. And we're loosening the lower spine, the hips, the legs, massaging the front of the thighs, just helping to loosen everything up here in the midsection of the body. So maybe one more time to each side, and whenever that feels complete for you, legs come back to center. We're going to lower just the left leg down. So the right knee is still bent. We're going to take some knee circles here. So just beginning to circle at the right knee, big or small circles, whatever feels good to you in this moment. So really paying attention, really listening to the body as it speaks to you through sensation, and moving with some pleasure in mind. Let this feel good. Let's take one more circle, and then we're going to switch direction. So here we're helping to improve circulation and mobility here in our right knee. This is helping to invite more synovial fluid or lubrication within the joint. And we're targeting muscle groups and joints near the low back area, because they all work together. And sometimes when we're tense in the knee, those muscles attached are pulling on our hips and causing our spine to move out of alignment. Let's take one more circle. And then once that is complete for you, no hurry, allow the right leg to lower down. Maybe allow yourself to take just a breath or two to observe any difference and sensation you might notice between the left and the right side now. And then let's bend into our left knee and begin to circle. Again, your choice, big or small, whatever feels good. Always meeting our body where it's at, never forcing, never straining. Let's try and move here with that pleasure in mind. Nice, soothing, nourishing movement. You might think about this like massaging your body from the inside out. And now let's reverse direction. And then maybe taking one more circle. And then once that feels complete for you, allow the leg to lower all the way down. Now let's shift our attention into the hips. And we're going to do some hip rocking here. So there's no particular way this needs to look. Let's pay attention to how it feels. Begin to allow the hips to sway side to side. It can be big movement, small movement. It can be a very gentle rocking. It can be a little more vigorous. It just depends on your own unique individual body, what feels good today. So again, this can be calming for the nervous system. We're increasing the circulation in this area. We're loosening tissues, muscles, just shaking things up. And this might be a new movement for you, creating some new neural pathways in the brain, moving in a non-habitual way. Swaying the hips side to side. Just paying attention. How does this feel? If it doesn't feel good, we can come back to stillness. It might feel really good. So just pay attention. Honor your body. A few more sway side to side. And then eventually we'll become still. Just taking a few mindful breaths here, observing any lingering sensation, any lingering vibration. And then from here, I invite you to now bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Allow the chin or forehead to rest on the floor. If your legs are wider than hip width, let's bring them just a little bit closer in. So first, we're going to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hug the elbows in tight along your side. We're going to keep the legs and feet grounded and use our next inhale to lift the head and heart into a baby cobra pose. So little to no weight in your hands here. Slightly tuck the chin, back of the neck is nice and long. Reach out through the crown, creating a lot of space here between the ears and the shoulders. Keep those elbows hugging in. So we're strengthening our core, which is really beneficial when we're having discomfort. And we're also stretching out the front of the pelvis, getting into the hip flexors and the abdominal muscles, which when these muscles are tight, they will pull that lower spine out of alignment. So here we're creating some space in the front side of the body. Let's take one more inhale here together, and then exhale, gently lower down. And now let's shift our attention into the lower half of the body. So pull the navel in towards the spine. And on your next inhale, lift just the legs. Lift from the very front of the pelvis. See how much of your thighs you can get up off the floor. And then reach through the toes. So again, we're strengthening, but also inviting in some length and some space. Keep reaching out through all 10 toes. Head, shoulders are relaxed here. Let's take one more inhale. And then exhale, softly lower down and rest. So we're going to take one more back bend. If it feels comfortable and safe in your body, we're going to now include the upper and lower half of the body together. Next inhale, lifting the head and the heart. Little to no weight in the hands, elbows tucked in. And then maybe lifting the legs any amount. So reach out through the crown, reach out through the toes. Nice steady breath here. Unclench the jaw. We're going to take one more inhale here together, and then exhale, gently lower down. Good. Now let's meet in Sphinx pose. We're going to lift the head and heart, and now guide our elbows directly underneath our shoulders. Spread your fingers really wide. Begin to lightly press down through all 10 fingertips as well as the palms. Guide the elbows back towards the hips, and these two actions help to guide our shoulder blades down the back. Gently opening here through the front side of the body. Tops of the feet, front of the legs, and even the front of the pelvis, lightly grounding or pressing down into the mat. And just helping to continue to loosen up the spine and our back muscles, we're going to do some shoulder dips. So on the next exhale breath, we're going to dip the right shoulder down towards the center of the mat, any amount, and then inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, left shoulder dips down, any amount, notice what feels good, and lift back up. 2 more times each side. Dipping the right shoulder, inhale, rise. Exhale, dipping the left shoulder. Inhale, rise. Last one. Exhale, right shoulder dips. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left shoulder dips. Inhale, rise. Back into Sphinx pose. Stay strong through the forearms just for a couple of breaths. Let the head fall heavy, opening through the back of the neck. Even the lower jaw, so relaxed that it too is falling down towards the floor. You can just let the head hang in stillness, or it might feel good to just allow the head to sway from side to side. And then from here, draw the chin back to center if you were moving. Inhale, let's lift the head back up. And exhale, let the head come all the way down. Let's guide our hands underneath our shoulders. Curl the toes under, engage the core muscles, hug the navel up and towards the spine. Use the core to assist you as you lift up through the palms, come to all fours, and then we're going to come into Balasana or Child's Pose. So uncurl your toes, bring the big toes to touch, and then it's your choice whether your knees are together, slightly apart, or maybe really wide. It just depends on what feels good. And now here is another opportunity. We could have a folded blanket, a pillow, something underneath our seat, if that provides a little bit more comfort for our knees. We're going to melt the head and heart down towards the floor. You might have the arms stretched out. You might stack hands or fists underneath the head. So we want our low back to feel nice and relaxed here. So just allow yourself to make any little adjustments that feel good. This is a lovely stretch for the low back, the length of the spine. It's also a gentle inversion, meaning that we're helping to increase our circulation and boost our immune system, getting more blood and oxygen up towards the heart, towards the brain. Taking some nice slow breaths here, in and out. And then if they're not already, let's reach the arms out forward alongside the head. And if it's better for the shoulders, you can bend into the elbows as much as needed. We're going to take a little side stretch, still helping to open up that low back and the sides of the body. Let's walk our hands over to the left, any amount. Let the head fall heavy, keep your hips over the heels. And maybe even experience the sensations of breath in the right side of the body. Feel those right ribs expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. Taking one more breath here, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Slowly walking the hands over to the right, any amount. Head falling heavy, hips stay over the heels. Maybe observing the sensations of breath in the left side of the body. The expansion as you breathe in, the contraction as you breathe out. Let's take one more breath here. And then we'll slowly come back to center, straighten the spine. Maybe you keep the arms stretched out. Maybe the hands come underneath the forehead. Maybe you bring the arms along your side. Let's now find just a little gentle rocking from side to side. So again, just inviting in some softness, relaxation, loosening things up. No right or wrong way to do this. Again, just tuning in and listening, noticing what feels good. And then eventually we'll become still. And just taking a few moments here to surrender into stillness, to invite your entire body to become heavy and relaxed. Tuning into the breath when the mind wanders too far away. Giving all of your weight to the floor. Consciously relaxing every single muscle. Complete surrender. And let's take 3 more mindful breaths here. And then staying here as long as it feels right. Whenever you are ready to ease out, we'll guide our hands underneath the shoulders. To help prevent any lightheadedness, we can take a nice, slow breath in as we lift the head and the heart. You might come to all fours. You might sit back towards the heels.
And once again, taking just a moment to check in. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's the low back feeling? Is there any difference in the way you feel now compared to when you started your practice? And then as you're ready, slowly fluttering the eyes open. Feel free to find any unwinding, intuitive movement here. And thank you so much for sharing your time with me, for joining me on this journey on the mat today to help loosen up your low back. So every Wednesday morning, I offer a somatic slow flow donation-based practice. And this practice is recorded, so you don't even need to be there live. I send out the recording to anyone registered, and you have a week to practice this wonderful practice as many times as you would like. I'm going to place a link down below for more information, but I hope that someday you will join me again for that Wednesday morning donation-based somatic slow flow. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you like my channel, if you like getting free information and practices of yoga on YouTube, it can be so helpful to support me by subscribing to my channel, by hitting that like button, maybe leaving a comment below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.